Before I start this video, I want to make sure that I shout out a Funky Diabetic, the creator of this video. Today, I will be talking about the next teams in the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference that could be on the rise and could make the playoffs next year. So, in the first team that we're going to be talking about is the Detroit Pistons. So, this team made the playoffs last season. They have Andre Drummond, who they're bringing back. They brought him back in free agency. They also have a young, talented point guard who they got from the IKC Thunder in Reggie Jackson. When he's been there, he's just been producing so many points a game, and he's been dishing the ball out very well. So they also got the stretch four that they really wanted, and the stretch four slash small forward that you can say, and Tobias Harris, who they got from an Orlando trade. So I think this was the biggest trade for the Pistons last season, because Tobias Harris was definitely a person that they wanted on their team, a shooter that can hit the ball from the outside, shoot threes, and even can go even to the forward position, and that was definitely what they're missing. So I think this team, last season they won 44 games, and I think this team is definitely on the rise to win 50 next season. They did make the playoffs, but I think they're going to be maybe in the top 6 teams in the Eastern Conference. The next team I think is on the rise is the Milwaukee Bucks. This Milwaukee Bucks team did not make the playoffs this last season, but did make it the year before that. And Jason Kidd is their head coach, and he's a terrific head coach. And I feel like they're going to make the playoffs. This all going to matter about Giannis Antetokounmpo in their front court. I think they need another big man. But Jabari Parker did come back last season, produced a lot of points. He really had a breakout season. I think they have a bright future, the Milwaukee Bucks. So they did win 33 games last season, but I see that number going all the way up to maybe 45 games, and definitely make the playoffs as an 8 seed or a 7 seed. So these are two teams in the Eastern Conference that are definitely on the rise, have tons of talent, and I think are just waiting for that one trade, that one team to give up a star player and really have this team on the rise and getting into the playoffs. But the team I think is going to do better is the Detroit Pistons. They did make the playoffs last season, brought back Andre Drummond. This team definitely has high potential and a high ceiling. So in the Western Conference, we've got a couple teams to talk about, and that is the Minnesota Timberwolves. We're going to start off first. So the Minnesota Timberwolves are a young, talented team led by Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns. So Karl Anthony Towns showed last year, won Rookie of the Year, had a terrific breakout season. I think he averaged like 19 and 10, close to that per game. So that was crazy. And the year before that, his teammate Andrew Wiggins won it. So it's just a matter of time for these players to develop, and that this Minnesota Timberwolves team is competing in the NBA Finals. Yes, that is correct. This team has such a high ceiling that this team is going to go to the NBA Finals in a couple of seasons, and they just stocked up on all of these draft picks, drafted Karl Anthony Towns, Zach LaVine. They also got Andrew Wiggins in a trade from Cleveland. So this team is all set for the future, and they just drafted Chris Dunn out of Providence College. So this makes me wonder if Ricky Rubio is out of the rotation and is out of Minnesota. So Ricky Rubio, he has shown that he has to improve his jump shot and his three-point shot before a team really wants to give him that high contract, because if you look at the modern NBA right now, you have to hit a three-point shot really to contend and get your salary. And I don't say you have to always hit the three-point shot, but you have to have a three-point and mid-range jump shot in your arsenal. But Ricky Rubio is probably going to get traded. I don't think he's going to find himself coming off the bench. I think they want to give all the minutes to their pick, 5th overall pick, to Chris Dunn, and I think he has a high ceiling. I think he should have won Summer League MVP. That's how good he looked in the Summer League, and he averaged like close to 25 points a game. He had a tremendous plus-minus ratio, and I think Chris Dunn is a next. I think I can say that he might win Rookie of the Year. It's going to be a close race between Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram, Jaylen Brown, and I think Chris Dunn is in that category as well. So The Minnesota Timberwolves are on the rise. Zach LaVine, all of these players, draft picks. Karl-Anthony Towns is going to lead this team. This team is very exciting into the near future. So the next team we're going to talk about is the Utah Jazz. So the Utah Jazz were contending for going into the playoffs last season. Just missed it by a couple of games. But this team has so much talent as well. They just have Rudy Gobert locking it down at the center position. They got Gordon Hayward, who's a great small forward who they might... who knows if he's going to re-sign with this team in a couple seasons. He might go elsewhere and get a bigger contract. But I think Utah is definitely his home. I think he's great fit in Utah. One of the best scorers. He's definitely one of the most underrated small forwards and scorers basically in the NBA. So they also have a terrific, I should say, player in Trey Lyles, who just ripped it up in the Summer League, and he has a great ceiling in the NBA. So this team also got Alec Burks. They did trade Trey Burke. I'm not too sure who they got for him, but this team is definitely going to be in the playoffs next season, and they're going to be contending to go on to the second round. I'm not contending them for the NBA Finals, but this team is definitely going to be maybe even get into a second round series because Rudy Gobert, great defensive player. Everyone wants a Rudy Gobert on the team, a shot blocker, a great, terrific defense player, and just played great around the rim. Dante Exum, who is coming back from injury, a lot of people are forgetting about him. Australia product, and I feel like he has a high ceiling as well. We did not see much of him last season. Obviously, he was injured, but the year before in his rookie season, we really did see a lot from him. He really didn't get a lot of minutes. He was competing with minutes against Trey Burke, but I think Dante Exum has one of the highest potentials on this Utah Jazz team. So that is my predictions of the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. I think the best team that's going to make the playoffs and really contend in the playoffs is going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves. This team is stacked with young talent, just going into the second year for Karl-Anthony Towns, fourth year for Andrew Wiggins. This team is looking terrific, and I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys think any other teams are contending for NBA playoff spots and maybe even title contention, make sure to tell me in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. TK Gamer or Tom, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.